It's the Opperman Report. Join digital forensic investigator and PI Ed Opperman for an in-depth discussion of conspiracy theories, strategy of New World Order resistance, high-profile court cases in the news, and interviews with expert guests and authors on these topics and more. It's the Opperman Report. And now, here is investigator Ed Opperman.
Okay, welcome back. We are joined by Maurice Symonette, who's better known as Michael the Black Man. Okay, and he's the head of Blacks for Trump. You always see him standing behind the president when he does those rallies. Somehow Michael manages to get right behind him every single time, and he's holding up that big sign with his website, gods2.com. That's gods, number 2.com. Maurice Symonette, are you there?
Yes, sir. How you doing, sir?
Thank you so much. So tell us about yourself. Who is Maurice Symonette?
Oh, I'm a regular guy. You know, I sing, and I'm a guy that I believe in the Republican Party because it was the party that freed the black people of America. So, and I'm that guy that you see standing behind President Trump sometime when I get there in time. Anyway.
And you host a radio show, right?
Yeah, it's on gods2.com.
And is there a specific time it's on, or just whenever you feel like it?
Well, it's on 24/7. It's two different shows. I change the show once every week, but it's like when you go to my website, it's at the very top. It says go to the radio show, and they'll hear what I have to say. And if I did an interview, I would sometimes have that interview on the site.
Okay. Hey, I hope I get my interview up there. That'll be great. Okay. Now,
you would have to send it to me.
I will
send the interview to me. Okay.
Yeah, I'll be happy to send it to you. Now, is Blacks for Trump? Is this a group with a lot of members, or is it just you and your friends?
Well, it's a group. It's a lot of people that are involved. I've had up to 50 people come out at certain events, and they wear these T-shirts, Blacks for Trump. We're not like an organization or a group that pays dues or anything. We just are black people that like the policies of the president, and we support him. That's all.
And you've always been a Republican. You've always been a Republican.
No. When I was a kid, I was not a Republican. My dad was a Republican. You know, he was one of Miami's first 5 black millionaires, and I used to think he was crazy for being a Republican. But then when he explained it to me, it made sense. And then when I met Yahweh later, he was the one that told me that Abraham Lincoln was Republican, which was pretty well shocking to me, and that Harriet Tubman and Frederick Douglass and all of those people were Republicans. And I was in shock. And so when I went and looked it up, I found it to be true. I was like, why in the heck are we voting for the people that had us as slaves? And, you know, like you said, no Jewish brother would ever vote for the Nazi Party, and no Irishman would ever vote for Oliver Cromwell, Brit, no American Cuban would ever vote for the Castro regime. No Haitian would vote for the Papa Doc regime. Not one roach would ever vote for the shoe because he knows it's going to smash it. So why in the world are black people voting for the murderers of our people? No nation has ever been that superciliously stupid. But, you know, our people do it anyway, so it's a shocker. But, you know, it's because we don't know, because Hosea 4:6 says my people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge. So my intention is to show people that under no condition should we ever vote for the Democrats, because they are the absolute destroyers and murderers of our people.
Okay, but and one of your feelings is you don't think that Trump is a racist.
No, I know he's not a racist. I know that Hillary Clinton is a racist because she wore blackface. And I also know that Hillary Clinton is you know, she was explaining one time, they had it on the internet, I'm looking at it like I can't believe she's trying to explain why she had slaves at the governor's mansion in Arkansas. And her explanation was because they're lawbreakers, so she had them working for free at the governor's mansion. I'm like, I don't really want to hear why you had slaves. You understand that is not logical. And then when you realize that her husband passed legislation that put 1.2 million black men in jail, no nation on earth ever had 1 million of anybody in jail, let alone just their men. And it's only out of 380 million people in America, there's only 4 million black men, yet we make up 80% of the jail population. That all came from the legislation that Bill Clinton and Hillary put in. Why in the world would I want to be associated with that racist? Now, she is the true racist. Then she put Al Gore in, who was, his daddy was one of the heads of the Ku Klux Klan, and he himself donates money, $40 a year to the KKK, Confederate Rebel Association. I'm like, why is a black man voting for that kind of a person? That's who he is. So, I even asked Jesse Jackson that in West Palm Beach, why in the world would you ask us to help Al Gore when you know he's with the Ku Klux Klan and donate to him? And like the Bible says in Matthew 6:21, wherever your treasure is, there's your heart also. So,
okay, I would agree with you. Yeah, the Clintons are racist. Like you said, they created those laws that caused all these black people to wind up in prison, the crack cocaine laws. And then she made that comment about they're super predators and we need to bring them to heel. Yeah, it's disgusting. But what about, we're talking about Trump, though, because you're supporting Mr. Trump. Yeah. And what about like his federal lawsuit? He had the civil rights lawsuit about his tenants when he was putting the letter C on their applications for colored, and the stuff about the Central Park 5. Well, what do you make of that?
I don't know what to make of that because I never did really know about that or learn about that. All I know is what his actions are, okay, and what he's doing. I can't really. I think I heard about something like that, but then I heard two different versions, so I don't know which one is real. But what I do go by is what he has done and what I've seen him do. I mean, I've seen him. I'm watching Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton on camera saying, "Thank you, President Trump, for helping black people to get jobs for the last 30 years, and thank you for helping me run for president and helping to finance the Rainbow Coalition." Then you see that other guy who recently had to take his website down, guy over Def Jam Records. He's happy that Trump helped him finance that, and then you got Mike Tyson and Don King, who President Trump helped. See, the fact that he helped him, I know that my dad was doing some type of business with him. I don't know, I can't remember exactly what it was, but I know that my dad loved him desperately because he was helping him, I think, to do a building that he was going to call Symonette Towers at one time. And the only person that responded to him was President Trump. Now, I don't know how he responded to him, but for my dad to like you had to be some kind of a good fellow, because my dad was a mean fellow.
He didn't like many people, huh?
Yeah, so I'm like, wow. So then, I watch. I was walking down Broadway a long, long time ago with Yahweh Ben Yahweh, and Yahweh and Trump talked to each other. They shook hands. Now, I don't know what he said to President Trump. Well, he wasn't the president then. That was in the 80s. But Yahweh came back and said, now, that's the type of guy we need to be our president, to run for president or something like that, because this guy here is not found wanting, and he's not afraid of it. And he'll say what it is. So, I said, wow. So when he started running, of course, I said, that's the guy we need to back up. So if Yahweh said that about him, it's just little things like that, like also helping a person. This guy helped him with fix his tire. The guy couldn't see who was in the limousine, and then Trump paid his whole mortgage off. It was a black guy. But the thing is, that doesn't sound like a racist to me. So I go by what his actions are. He was the first man to ever address black people other than Abraham Lincoln, the first president, to actually address black people and point them out by themselves. Like he said, well, give me a chance. I'm going to help you. I'm going to help black people. And he said that while we were in the audience. But I helped a lot of Republican presidents. John McCain looked at me, and I asked him, I had a shirt that Republicans are not racist. And I said, hey, we need to stand behind you and help you, my brother, when he was running against Obama. And he told me, I don't need little black boys like you.
Whoa.
That kind of stuff.
Wait. McCain said that to you?
Yeah, he was walking into an event. No, he was walking out of the event in New York. We had drove all the way up there to help him because we had just we had just left Obama when we sort of was booing him at the University of Miami. That was us. And a few days later, he was going to Alabama, right? And then somebody shot at us while we were getting on the bus, and anyway, how did that happen? Okay, and then so he was going to New York, and we went up to New York to help him, to assist him. I think he was going to do a debate against Obama. I can't really remember how it all went, but I met him coming outside of the event, and he had a lady with him, and I had my T-shirt on. Republicans are not racist. I said, listen, I got was 8 of us in. I said, I got 8 black guys, man. We need to stand with me. And that's when he made his statement. I said, wow. So
wait.
That guy.
You mentioned that someone had shot at you. What's behind that?
Oh, well, after we stood up against Obama at the University of Miami, I think it was in 2008, we were getting on the bus to go to Alabama because he was getting ready to debate Obama. And while we were getting on our bus in front of our office building, some guys ran up to us, and we had like a bunch of ladies on the bus and some guys, and we were getting ready to drive up from Miami to Alabama. And the guy came up and knocked my brother over because he was holding the door open for me. And he knocked him over and then pointed the AR-15 at me. And I was looking at him and said, yeah, this dude here that went against Obama right here, this nigga right here. I said, what? I was looking at him, and he got too close, and I just grabbed the gun and pushed it to the side. Then I swung at him I was on the top floor of the steps of the bus, and I hit him, and then we both fell down, and I just was holding on to the gun. He started shooting it between my legs and melted my hand to the gun. And then I bit him, and he let go of the gun. And then I took the gun and got up and hit him over the head with the gun. And then one of my brothers, who was a private investigator and another police officer, was on the bus, and they got off the bus and they shot him. But there were some other guys behind the bus started shooting at me. So I was running to another car. And they shot me in the back of the head, but it didn't really hit me good. It just nicked my head, but my hair went straight in the air. It was crazy. And my brother got shot in the arm. So we drove the bus to the hospital, running from those guys. And when we got to the hospital, Al had to go into the hospital. And we didn't even know I was shot. So the police officer said, hey, man, he's bleeding like a seal right here. So they had to take me in and check my head. But he found out it just nicked me. He didn't get me. He just nicked me. And the other thing that was wrong with my ankle was really sprained very bad because one of the bullets from the AR-15 knocked the shoe off my foot. It didn't get me, but it took the shoe off. Can you imagine high top tennis shoes coming off? That's what happened.
Well, now,
so anyway,
have you ever reported this before in the news?
Yes. That was a New Time newspaper. It was in other newspapers. Yeah, they talked about it. But because I said the guy said, yeah, this guy here, Obama wanted right here. I guess they don't want me to be able to say that it looked like a hit from Obama. But I don't even know if it was or was not. But that's what the guy said. Because either that, maybe he was just upset that he saw us on TV standing up against Obama at the University of Miami in 2008. So maybe that's what he was upset about.
Okay.
So I guess we were like the first black guys to stand up against them, and it was about 24 of us, if I remember correctly. We held up signs and stuff like that at the University of Miami.
Okay.
So,
okay.
yeah.
Let me ask you this then. Let me ask you this now, because you mentioned how Al Gore's father was a member of the KKK. What about Fred Trump? Fred Trump was a member of the KKK. He got arrested in Manhattan, and if you ever read the flyer,
the problem with that is Al Gore himself donated $40 a year to the KKK.
Right.
And we got that answer from when Jesse Jackson and the NAACP was on TV, and I had the video with me the day that I was running Jesse Jackson out of town in 2001, I think it was. And I had that video when I wanted to show it because I had a little TV stand because I wanted Jesse to explain how he would sit in a room with the NAACP. He didn't ask the question, but they asked the question. They asked him, why does he donate money to the Confederate Rebel Association, the Ku Klux Klan? And he said, oh, it's only $40 a year. I don't want to hear that. What the hell are you saying, $40 a year? If you give a fourth of a penny, you're a bastard. You understand? You hung my people and murdered us, and you want me to understand, and the NAACP let him get away with such a stupid answer. I mean, that answer is crazy. I'm trying not to cuss on you.
Yeah, try not to.
But I'm almost, it's so insane that they let him get away with the answer is only $40 a year. That is crazy.
Well, then, okay, wait a minute. Maurice, let me ask you then, because, you say, you're anti-Klan, and God bless you, man. We should all be anti-Klan. I fought with the Klan, and, I used to fight in the streets of New York City with the Klan. But now, what about, we got these neo-Nazis today marching through the streets. Jews will not replace us. And Trump says some of them are very fine people. What do you say about that?
No, I was over at that event, and I know what he was talking about. There was some Tea Party people there, and there was some other calm people over there. They wasn't out there to protest and fight. They were just out there trying to make a point. And I thought all of their points were not really smart because they wanted General Lee up, and I'm totally against General Lee, but I'm for. I don't mind George Washington having a statue. I'm really against all statues because, that's a graven image, but that's another story. But the bottom line is, if I don't have a problem, it won't be because it's General Lee, because General Lee not only did he have slaves, but he was fighting to keep me in slavery, and he was a rebel to America. So I of course, want that flag down. That was the point I was there to make. But while I was there, I was able to observe that there were some people that was on that side, but they were not protesting, just like Antifa. It was a bunch of, Black Lives Matter, because you notice real black people don't actually riot. Now, the East Indians, the African Pakistanians that be out there, they go and riot and act crazy because apparently they feel free to do that. But black people know if they get caught, they go into jail. So on Antifa side, there was some calm black people that were not rioting and were not fighting. They didn't have no helmet on out there ready to fight. Just like it was on that side where the nuts were, the Ku Klux Klan, who were absolute pecan head nuts, and the what you call them people, the neo-Nazis or the Nazis, whatever. Those nuts were out there, and they were obviously ready to fight. They were not there trying to be nice. You understand?
Sure.
So, but on both sides, there were people that were just there to make their own statement, and they were good people.
Okay, but
I can't say the people on Black Lives Matter side who out there upset because black men are being shot. Even I'm upset with that. So I can't say that those people were bad, but the people who were wearing those helmets and out there with bats trying to fight for real, they don't want you to even be able to make your point. They want to fight. I am upset with them.
Okay, but you don't think when Nazis show up, you don't think we should be ready to fight them and shut them down?
No, I don't. What you need to do is make sure you out there to make your thing, because it's supposed to be the land of the free, where you can say what you want to say and believe what you want to believe. I'm against the Nazis, but I'm not going to go out there and shoot them if the police is not going to shoot them. What am I out there to hit them with a bat or shoot them for? I'm not going to do that. Because if I do it, I go to jail. You understand?
I do, yeah.
You might be able to do it. Yeah. You might be able to do it and get away with it. But I know as a black man, if I even look like I'm going to do something like that, I'm dead. That's why you look over there, Black Lives Matter. None of them people who are actually black, because I can see them. I can see the difference because I've gone through those crowds. Most of those people talking about Black Lives Matter who are rioting are all East Indians, Arabs, and Pakistanis. And on the other side, those are not even real white Gentiles. Those people, which you would call Cherokees or Canaanites, they're a totally different group of people from white Gentiles. White Gentiles are honorable. They would jump in a burning car to save your life. And I know that's why Jesus said about the Gentile that stabbed him in the side, forgive him, Lord, for he knows not what he was doing. If he was the devil, Jesus would have never forgave him. And as you well know, Jesus, according to the Hebrews, was a black man, and he forgave that white Gentile. But you go to Matthew chapter 15, starting at verse 19 through 26. A Canaanite woman came up to him, and Jesus looked at her and said, the bread of the children is not for you, dog. He didn't even want to talk to her. He ended up, after she kept repenting, he ended up helping him. But look how he responded to her as a Canaanite. And if you study it, Canaanites were cursed and turned white as snow. They're totally different people from the Gentiles. Canaanites are white Africans because their daddy was Ham, the father of all Africans. Gentiles, their daddy is Japheth, the father of all the isles of the white European Gentiles. That's Genesis 10, 1 through 5. And in Genesis chapter 10, it tells you the children of Ham. His son was Canaan. Canaan was cursed white because he participated in disrespecting Noah. Those are two different white people. It's just that we don't see them. So when I look at those, and they're not only different, one of them is white as snow, and the other one can get a tan. The other one can't get a tan. And if you look at them, look at those people again on those videos. They are white as hell. They don't look like Gentiles. And they're the ones out there ready to fight and kill and shoot and all that stuff.
But Maurice,
they want me to blame you, and I'm not going to blame you. You're just trying to get me to somehow be mad with Gentiles because of what the Canaanites do. And I'm not going to do it. But go ahead and say what you have to ask, you got to ask.
But those guys, right? They think that Trump is their guy. They think, just like you think Trump is your guy, they think Trump is their guy. So who's right and who's wrong?
Just like everybody thinks Hillary is our
forget Hillary. Forget Hillary.
She's the bastard of hell. She's the bastard of hell.
I agree with you. So, Hillary, forget Hillary.
Right.
Yeah. Forget Hillary, man.
So people got their own opinions. I'm only going about what the Bible said in Daniel 9:25. It said that it will be the policy of the beast that will destroy us. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. 7:25. The policy. So I'm not dealing with President Trump because of where he comes from or who he is. I'm dealing with President Trump because of his policy. When he said a good while ago he wanted to take taxes down to somewhere like 10%, well, of course I'm gonna go for that because I don't want to hear about no food stamps and welfare. Give me my damned money. I don't want to hear about what you're going to give me. I want to make my own money. If you're going to get rid of regulations, which the East Indians and those Slavs and Serbians don't have to deal with, not Slovenians, because they're totally different from Slavs, because the word Slav means slave. Canaan was a slave of slaves, Genesis chapter 9, 18 through 26. Those cats don't have to pay taxes. They over here as Cherokees free. From taxes, they get all kind of money a month per child. We have to pay child support. We don't even have an incentive to have a baby, but they have incentives to have babies. And they're living for free, and they're drunk with our tax dollars. And then they get out there and cause all these problems between black people and white people when it's not really Gentiles, because when they say Black Lives Matter and they say Blue Lives Matter, guess what? Both are right, because the people that are shooting white people, I looked him up, like Darren Wilson, who shot that black guy. He's a full-blooded Cherokee. Darren Wilson is not only a full-blooded Cherokee, he is white as snow.
Let me ask you a question. Where did you find out that Darren Wilson was a Cherokee?
You can Google it and Bing it. I got it on my website. I got the proof.
I saw it on your website. Yeah.
Wilson is the third most prominent name in the Cherokee Nation. And he got all of the hallmarks of the albino. He's cockeyed, and he's white as snow. Even his eyelashes are white. That's a different type of a white guy from Gentiles. You cannot. I looked through all of them. I can't find one white Gentile that actually killed the black guy. But I can find a whole bunch of Cherokee white Canaanites that have shot us and killed us. I can find a bunch of East Indians like Raja and Aliada. Raja shot a black guy in the head sitting on the side of the expressway. You think he's a white guy? Black people out there saying, man, white people killing us. When I go look at this guy, he's an East Indian. Raja, I knew him because he came to my house trying to take my boat at one time, and he's an admitted East Indian. And all these guys are the ones that have been shooting us. It ain't white people shooting black people, and even the black people that's shooting the police officers. Most of them are either African or East Indians, Arabs, or Pakistanis. They're not black people. So they got up at odds with each other while they're the ones that's doing the murdering slickly.
Okay, we're going to have to spend one time, come back and explain to me the origins of that theory, okay? Like, where we could take our time.
The origins of that theory is simple.
Yeah.
There's a group of people that united in Genesis chapter 36, they were called Ishmael, Esau, and Canaan. Canaan is the white cursed guy who's African, and and Ishmael, the father of all East Indians, Arabs, and Pakistanis. They are in unity today, and they were in unity back then. They came to America. They first called themselves Inca. That was the Canaanites, and the Aztecs were the East Indian Arabs, Pakistanis, the red ones. And then when they got run out of South America and Canada, they came up and called themselves Cherokee, Choctaw, Chickasaw, and Seminole. But they're the exact same people with the exact same looking tattoos, wearing feathers on their head. Same damn people, okay? And those people are over here in America today, and they act like they're in the Masonic laws, they call themselves serpentine, or what you call people that can shapeshifters. So they can look like they're other nation of people, but really they're East Indians. Like, they say Mexicans that are bad. No, it's not all Mexicans that are bad. The calm Mexicans are Mayans. They come over here and they work honorably and honestly. Then you have these cats with they call themselves Azteca Mesa MS-13. And they got all these tattoos on them. Those are the Aztecs. Those are the Phoenicians. Those are the Canaanites. The Ishmaelites. That's who they are. And I just so happen to have traced them all the way down because Yahweh had already explained them to me. So I looked it up so everybody else can see it, and I put it where you can see it for yourself. Those people are totally different from the calm Mexicans that's over here, and the nice ones that you can trust your babies with. But they're not like that. And they don't tattoo themselves like nuts. Those guys are that. So that's who they are. And they come to America. Now they call themselves Cherokee, Choctaw, Chickasaw, and Seminole, and they're the ones that perpetrating all of this insanity among our people, trying to separate the black man from the white man, because Yahweh taught me, and the Bible said, if the black man and the white man fight, because what white people don't know is that they and the black man are the chosen people. That's Genesis chapter 9, 18 through 26. Said, Shem and Japheth will go to heaven and dwell in the same tent together forever. They're trying to make Shem and Japheth fight. Ham and Canaan are upset because they have been disinherited. The white man is my brother, and we will go to heaven together. So when you see the two brethren stand together, that's me and President Trump, a great fear will fall upon him. That's why you're trying to figure out how to pick me apart and destroy me, because they have told you to do so, which is cool.
Wait, no, wait, me? Me personally?
Yes, sir.
You think I'm doing something? What am I doing?
I don't know. I don't know what you're doing. They've been. I'm not even dealing with you.
Okay.
I'm dealing with the media and as a whole have been trying to figure out how to destroy me, because the only problem is I don't want nothing.
Okay.
I know that God said if we fight, He's gonna kill everybody. So I put it upon myself to take on the job of making sure that the Gentile and the black man does not fight.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah. Let me just
if we fight,
just say one thing.
God kills everybody.
I have a lot. I have a lot of people on this show, all different religions and faiths and different opinions and stuff like that. I'm not trying to. Give you an opportunity to say whatever you want.
No, you don't. Yeah. You don't have to explain yourself. Yeah. I wouldn't care if you were or were not. I'm just going to tell you what I believe in, and that's it. I'm not trying to figure out whether you're doing that or not.
Yeah, I don't want you to be defensive, though. Yeah, I don't want you to feel defensive. Or like you're my guest. You know what I mean? I want you to feel comfortable.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but now,
I'm not prepared for you. I've already prepared. I don't have to prepare for you. I just give you the answer.
Right.
The answer is you are my little brother. Japheth is the younger brother. That's why Jesus looked down and said, "Forgive him, Lord, for he knows not what he's doing." That's why Ezekiel 18:17-22 says the Gentiles, though they participated in the slavery of our people, they are forgiven and they shall be blessed and they shall go to heaven forever. And once they finally know that, then they would join me in stopping the Canaanites and the Ishmaelites from wiping us out. And then the Ishmaelites and the Canaanites can also repent. But we at least got to know the difference, because if we don't know the difference, we'll be trying to wipe each other out. You understand? That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to figure out how to make you go against a man who I'm not worried about how he personally thinks. What is your policy? Hillary was saying 81%, and what's that guy's name? Bernie Sanders wanted 91% of tax. Of course you want that, because you don't pay tax. So now we can't compete with you to do business and make money. All we can do is work and get enough money to pay for our food, clothing, and shelter, which is exactly what you did to us in slavery. You just gave it to us. Now you letting us buy our own food, clothing, and shelter on this big plantation. But we can't fulfill our happiness. Go make things happen. Go ahead.
Okay. Now, you're saying that some of these people don't have to pay taxes. You think that Bernie Sanders doesn't pay taxes? He's put his tax returns out.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know what Bernie Sanders does. I just know that his wife. I know his wife is an Indian. I don't know if she pays taxes, but I do know that they got the Democrats defending the Cherokees. I don't know how in the world, no nation on earth, whoever conquered another nation, paid homage or taxes to them. But for some strange reason, not only do we pay taxes from our tax dollars to them, called reparations, not only do we pay that, we also give them money to start businesses, and they also make money, and they don't have to pay any taxes. That is absolutely insane. Even Jesus said, "Render unto Caesar that which is Caesar." The Romans conquered children of Israelites, so pay taxes to them. So if we were paying taxes to the Romans, how in the world is it that they're not paying taxes, but then they're the main ones advocating through Harvard University and all of the colleges, which was started by the Indians? If you found out that Harvard is called the Cherokee College, it was created because of Pocahontas and that John Smith character. So they became our teachers. And so all of us, they're fighting for them, fighting for their rights. Man, they have already been paid back 100 damn times. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, the average Native American, who lives on these reservations and in the tribal land, they live a miserable life for the most part. You're saying that
yeah, but there's more than one type of tribal nation. So you got other Indians over here that they call the others, and of course they live horribly. But the Cherokee and all them, Chief Bill Baker, they're living opulent lives. So you can't protect them. You can try to protect them, but just remember, those Indians that were here first, like the Mayans and the Tiano and the Amalek and those guys, the Eskimos, these guys, of course, they're living horrible lives, but those people are simply Shem and Japheth, who God ordered in Genesis 9:18, ordered us to repopulate the earth. We had to go put the animals back to where we got them from. And so when we walked over into the Americas over the land bridge from Siberia to Alaska, we came into Alaska and America, and there was nobody here. Because I hear some Indians say, well, we were here 17,000 years ago. Okay, even if that was true. The point is, God said he killed everybody after the flood 5,000 years ago. So by the time we got here, there was nobody here on earth. The Phoenicians, who are the Aztecs and the Incas, who are now the Cherokee and all those people, they came over here and conquered it and took it from the Mayans.
Because
they blood sacrifice. Let me finish this.
Okay, sorry.
And they blood sacrificed us, and they killed us, and then the conquistadors ran them out of there, and they come into America, and they did the same thing. They took the land from us, and Columbus came and took it back from them, just like Joshua and Moses took it back from Canaan. So the earth in Genesis 43 was called the land of the Hebrews. The Canaanites conquered it and took it. Joshua took it back over there, and Columbus took it back over here. But for some reason, we have been tricked into paying them homage. And they're the ones that are ruling in this country. They run the media. They run all of your editing stations, so they're going to edit this here perfectly. But in the meantime, that's what they're doing. That's why I had to go ahead and record this myself so that I can make sure I have my own recording. It's not going to be a good, clear recording, but just in case.
I'll give you. I'm not going to touch it. Yeah. I don't even have I don't even have the ability to do much editing. Not personally, anyway.
Oh, okay. But I do that every day.
No, you should.
TMZ tried to edit something I said, and I had to put it on the internet and show everybody that they're liars, and they took it off real quick.
Yeah, I just recently I got ambushed too. The guy interviewed me and chopped up everything I said. And anyway, but now what you're telling me here about the Cherokees is all new to me. I've never heard this before. Besides,
that means you don't go on my website because that was
no. Remember when I called you the other day? I said I saw the thing about the Confederate flag on your website. But what you're telling me now is new to me. But my understanding is that this theory that the Native Americans who came that they came from Egypt and stuff like that, that's the same theory that John Smith and the Mormons had, right? And wasn't that disproven through DNA?
The Mormons are the Cherokee. The Mormons are the white Cherokees. That's why even what's that guy's name, Jeff Flake and Hillary and you know Hillary. You do know that President Clinton is a Cherokee, right?
No, I have no idea.
Well, you better look it up, sir. They all almost all of them are Cherokee, and they're proud to say so.
But what about the DNA? Wasn't there a DNA test that proved that they're not that the Native Americans here who made the pyramids here are not the same? Make the pyramids in Egypt?
No, they're not the same ones. Of course, they're not the same ones. They're Ishmaelites. Ishmael didn't build the pyramids; the Hebrews did. Okay. Go to Exodus chapter 1, verse 6. It says the Hebrews built the pyramids. It didn't say that the Arabs, East Indians, or Ishmaelites built it. It said Israel, the Hebrew Israelites, built that. If they built it, then if they really built it, there's Egyptians over there right now. If they're supposed to be the real Egyptians, then why don't they come over here? And why don't they just build another pyramid? Why don't they remember? They didn't lose their books. What's going on?
Let me ask you this.
What's going on? The people who built them don't even remember who they are. We don't even know that we're the children of Israel. And white Gentiles are so stupid, they don't even know that they are the ones that are chosen with us. They helped us build pyramids, and they helped us build the temple of God. The most magnificent building in history was built by a Gentile named Hiram of Tyre. Look him up. He was the king of the Gentiles. And he brought half of the wealth of the Gentiles to King Solomon, who was the developer, and he was the contractor to build the temple. The Gentiles, and everybody said, why in the world would they do that? Because the earth belonged to Shem and Japheth. We had the south, they had the north, from Jerusalem. And so when they say, well, why in the world would he give half the wealth? And why would the Gentiles celebrate the fact that he gave half of the wealth? The reason why they celebrated is because they knew that was their capital city too. You understand? And they built the temple. Otherwise, can you imagine if you was the president of America and you gave half of the wealth of America to China to build a temple for him to throw a party in? Do you know how they would kill you? They would hang you in the middle of the street. You understand? So it had to be a reason that the Gentiles rejoiced to help Solomon build this temple and give up all of that wealth and all of that money and power. Because the earth, that's why Jesus said, I'm here for the Jew and the Gentile. That's why Paul said the whole body of Christ is the Jew and the Gentile. It's just that the Gentiles are so stupid right now that they're defending the people that's trying to destroy me and your unity. Because we are blood brothers and we're family and we're going to hell together. Whether you like it or not, I'm taking your behind the heaven. You know?
Yes, okay. I want to have you back one day. And we can really flesh this.
Go study and then have me back.
Yeah, right. We can flesh this out a little bit more. But now, another question for you now. If you're saying, okay, you're calling the Cherokees, okay, let's call them the Cherokees. They don't have to pay taxes and all that kind of stuff. How does the Walton family fit into this, okay? Because obviously they're not paying taxes.
I don't know anything about the Walton family.
Well, it's
I haven't studied that.
because it's interesting. Well, they got like 40% of this country's wealth, and they pay no taxes, and we subsidize.
Who are they again? What are they called?
The Sam Walton the Walmart heirs.
Oh, yeah, okay.
The six heirs to the Sam.
Cherokee?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to find out. I never heard anything about this Cherokee stuff.
I haven't studied everything in the world.
Right.
I just know the basic principles of the planet. You understand? So I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and act like I know everybody on Earth.
Okay.
You understand? Hold on for a second.
Sure.
What's happening? I was just saying hi to somebody.
Okay.
So anyway.
Wait. Because I want to just close out the Trump racist thing. Now, what about Omarosa? When Omarosa just left just now, she said that she was the only black person there. What do you have to say about that?
Well, what I have to say about that, as our good brother Jim Brown and Ray Lewis and Steve Harvey and Kanye West and Omarosa, they were there. They were there, Trump. But Willie Lynch wrote a letter called "How to Keep Black People in Slavery Forever." He said the way you do that is you take the most haughty Negro out and beat him to death in front of everybody, so that everybody will be afraid to go and get freedom, and we can hold them in slavery for 350 more years. So what everybody saw is they saw me get excoriated like no black man has ever been excoriated before. All over the globe, they had me as a national coon, and of course, everybody is scared to be called that. They thought for sure I was done, and no other black persons. I guess they were shocked when he went back to Pensacola with 20 black guys, and he said, "Blacks for Trump." I love those guys, which means it didn't work. But it did work, apparently, against people like Omarosa. They're trying to get back in with Hollywood, and I really don't know what they did, or if Omarosa is actually upset, because I haven't talked to her. But I do know that the Willie Lynch letter is on full display. They try to make us turn against a man whose policy is in total agreement with all of us. Because anybody that wants to take taxes down and get rid of regulations, that is equivalent to the Emancipation Proclamation. And so I am for freedom, and I don't care about what they do or what she didn't do or whether she was only black. I'm not even into that. Give me my damned money. That's all. Just give me my money and get out of my way and let me conduct business. He getting rid of Dodd-Frank? Oh, my God. Yes, I'm for that.
That's to help the banks. It's not going to help you.
Yes, it does.
How?
He gets rid of Dodd-Frank, the banks can then freely loan money. Then the other banks can come in because they're unregulated. That's what they do.
Right. So then the banks can charge you any kind of, they can charge you fines and fees, anything they want, and get away with it.
Yeah, no. Don't leave out the most important part, because when Obama put Dodd-Frank in, what it did is it shut down every black man I know who can go get money to come and create an idea and try to bring it to fruition, or go buy houses. Because when Bush first got in, he got rid of at least about a third of those regulations, and we can do stated loans. All of a sudden, black people had $1 million and $2 million houses. We got rich. You understand? We had actual money. We had hotels and nightclubs. All of that was going on. And then when Obama came in, he shut it down and said, okay, you got to bring in tax returns. You got to bring in your check stuff. Of course, nobody is going to qualify. Banks are not free to give you the money because they got to have that. And then now nobody has money but the Indians, because they're free. They got all of the money. They ain't paying no tax. They ain't got no regulation. You can't foreclose on them. Did you know that? Did you know they don't have to have driver's license? They pay $15 for a driver's license that lasts for life. Their registration on the back of their car, it says, do not detain or stop. They can run red lights. They are free. They cannot be regulated. And you cannot foreclose on them. They foreclose on you, but you can't foreclose on them. You know why? Because you're not supposed to be able to foreclose, because Proverbs 22:27 says, if you loan a man money, do not, when he can't pay you back, take the bed from under his back. Well, that's where your house is. You can't take. It's probably, you can't loan Cuba $50 billion, and when they can't pay you back, and you go and take Cuba from them. No, what you got to do is make their credit rating bad. That's what you're supposed to do. But they got us agreeing with that's what you call slavery. They're able to take our property, taxing the property. They got so many regulations. By the time you look around, you don't spend all of your money paying. Hillary, what is that guy named? Obama had us at 41% in taxes, 37%. Then you got to pay. Oh, now they got you paying water bill, light bill, all of the stuff that is supposed to be built in the 10% and the infrastructure. They got us paying for. It is insane. You got to pay tolls. You can only go 50 miles an hour, but they can speed. But you don't. Come on, man.
You know, I got to say, Maurice,
that's why. In 1993, President Trump was having an argument with Congress. A congressman named David Miller was asking him, and you can Google this, and he said, why in the world are you racist against the Cherokee Indians? He said, I'm not a racist. You guys are the racist. He said, why don't they have to pay taxes, but I do? Why is it, he had a lot of questions. Like one of them questions, like, why does his club have to shut down at 2 o'clock selling alcohol, but they can sell 24/7? Why is it that people go in their stores don't have to pay duty or tax, but when you go in my store, you got to pay duty or tax? How can I compete with them when they got all the advantages? Come on, and then if Hillary take 81%, she really got the advantage because you ain't got no money. And if you do get money, you immediately go under what? Investigation. But how did you get the money to get whatever? You understand?
Wait. So
this is insane.
So you've had this philosophy about the Cherokees way back for a long time. When did this start? When did you come up with this?
No, I didn't have this. Yahweh taught it to me.
Okay.
And he said when you one day you're gonna remember what I told you, look back at it, and then it start happening right in my face. Wow, that's what he meant by that. Stuff like that. How stuff. You see Obi-Wan Kenobi, when he told Luke Skywalker a certain thing, and it doesn't hit him until he's in the middle of something happening. That's why he told me to do that. That's what it comes to. That's how it came to me. While I'm looking at the things that they're saying and doing, and I'm saying, wow, so that's what Yahweh meant by that. Oh my goodness. You start to see. He had already mentioned the Cherokee and how they got all of the gambling and how they able to break all laws. And the Bible said in Zechariah 11:5 that these Canaanites who are our oppressors will break all laws and hold themselves not guilty. I'm looking at Hillary Clinton. She has broken every law. They accuse us of what they are guilty of, and yet they hold themselves not guilty. You understand? Mule, whatever, and they all do that.
The Clintons are professional criminals, okay? The drug smugglers, the criminals that kill people. We know that. Forget the Clintons.
So that was supposed to be, and that's supposed to be it. So let's don't talk about them. Let them pray so we can talk about what you do bad. Go ahead.
Oh, no, but I'm agreeing with you about the Clintons.
I know, but that's what it equals. Okay. In order to respond to you correctly, I have to bring them out.
Okay.
Because you're accusing me and Trump of what they are actually guilty of.
Okay.
They actually had slaves, for real.
But I just don't want you to think I support the Clintons, okay? Because I certainly don't.
I don't know whether you do it, and I don't care whether you do it or don't, but I have to respond to you in time so that it makes sense. Because if I just respond to you the way you want me to respond to you, then you can make me look bad. And I'm not trying to look bad. I'm just trying to tell you the truth. And the truth is, they are guilty of what they accuse us of. You understand?
I do.
The reason they went against Yahweh ben Yahweh, the only reason they went against Yahweh ben Yahweh is because he was helping Republicans. He only helped Republicans. He helped Arthur Till, Victor DeUry, Mayor Xavier Suarez, and they said, "Oh no, we got to stop this Negro." And they accused him of everything. Found out all of it was a lie, and still found him guilty.
Well, why don't you explain the whole thing? Who was Yahweh ben Yahweh?
Yahweh ben Yahweh was my teacher, and like the Bible said, "Have you not read? You are all children of the Most High, sons of God." So he's the Son of God. I'm a son of God. Even you are a son of God.
Even me.
And he was our teacher. No, he was my teacher, and he taught me that you are my blood brother. Because before I met him, I had just went through a period in my life where I watched Kunta Kinte and all them movies like that. I went berserk on white people for a minute. and I became a Nation of Islam Muslim, not a Farrakhan Muslim, a 5%er. And I was really terrible against white people in college. And when I met Yahweh, the first thing he did, he had got me into the history side of myself, and then he had me to study the Bible, and then I memorized the whole Bible, and I started getting scriptures down to the T. And then one day he told me, he said, all white people are not the devil. I said, what? Man, these packers are the devil. No, he said, no, son, that's wrong. That's wrong. He said, if they all the devil, look at me. I'm light, bright, damn near white, son. If you want to make war against white people, you have to make war against me. Wow. He did have blue eyes. He was very light skinned. He had nappy hair, though. I tried to come up with all kind of reasoning to why he would say something like that. He said, son, the fact is that Acts 17:26 says all nations are one blood. I said, oh, yeah. He knew I knew that because I had it memorized. Revelation 7:13 said every nation, kindred, and tongue will be saved in the last day. It did not say it. Everybody but the white man, or everybody but the Ishmaelites, or everybody but the Canaanites. Everybody can be saved because everybody's daddy on earth is Noah, Genesis 9:18-22. So, that was the first thing he did. Then one day he hit me with the Republicans and who they were and how they're my blood brothers. And now I had to go back to my old neighborhood and tell Miss O'Neill and Curtis too and all them to forgive me because I was cussing everybody out for a minute. And they all were so glad to see me back. And, because I found out that they're my blood brothers. You understand? So now I'm on this quest. I done found that out. Now it's the Republicans, the white Gentiles are my blood brothers, the ones who fought to free me. That's how I got on this quest. You got it now?
And all this took place down in Florida?
In Miami, yep.
In Miami, okay. But then ultimately there was some kind of controversy, a bunch of arrests and stuff like that. What happened with that?
They arrested him because he was helping Republicans win office. And he was all on TV with them, taking pictures. Oh, my goodness. And they decided to arrest him. My charge was, they charged me in that. They charged me with tax evasion. And then Judge Rucker came back and said, well, they have a nonprofit and they're a church. He said, in order to charge Michael with this, you have to find all preachers and put all preachers in jail. So they had to drop the charges. So they were getting ready to kick me out of the case. Then they came back up with, I hit somebody in the eye who was beat up and dead. I said, what? Now, this was the most amazing story that I had ever heard in my life. But whatever it took to keep me in there, because they were trying to get me to turn on Yahweh, because they knew before I had met Yahweh. And while being with Yahweh, I had never in my life smoked, drank, or took drugs, or even used a profane word. But I at least had a traffic ticket. Yahweh, on the other hand, not only had never done anything like that, he was a hero in the Air Force and was a tactical teacher, and he didn't even have a traffic ticket, let alone never smoking, drinking, or cussing. So it was like they needed somebody like me to turn against them, and that's what they kept coming to me with. And I kept telling them no. They pushed me over the table one time while my hands was cuffed, and I told them, man, listen, take me to the electric chair, because I'm not going to allow on a man that I saw eat one bowl of beans every day and actually kept the law and actually was righteous and as humble as that, I wasn't doing it. So, if he was a regular Negro, yeah, of course, anything to get out of this kind of crap. But no, not this guy, not him. So then when they dropped the charges, they came out with some other charges. Then they came and told me, listen, we're going to let you off the case. I said, nope, I don't want to get off the case, we just want you to sign these papers here saying that you won't sue. And I said, I'm not signing anything. I'm going all the way to trial. You got to let him go first. They weren't going to let him go. And I wasn't going nowhere without him. So they had to take me to trial. And then when we got in trial, Al C. Hastings asked a damning question to, you know who Al C. Hastings is, right?
No, I don't know.
He's the congressman in Congress right now that got accused of
that's right. Yeah,
misconduct.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. He was molesting the wrestling kids, right?
No, not that guy.
No.
How did you get him mixed? I'm talking about the congressman, Alfie Hastings, the black guy that's bald-headed, and he was a federal judge, and then he ran for Congress. You don't know who Alfie Hastings is?
No, I don't.
Wow.
No.
That's like not knowing Maxine Waters. But anyway, Alfie Hastings was Yahweh ben Yahweh's lawyer at the time of the case. And he asked Robert Rozier, who was supposed to be the witness against me, he said, so you saw Maurice hit this guy in the eye with a stick? He said, yes. He said, and when was that? He said, September 17, 1983. He went over there for like 30 minutes. So you sure? Why do you remember? Because it was the Day of Atonement, and we was using him as a goat to sacrifice. So September 17, 1983, he said, yes, sir. He said, okay, I have the warden here. I have 2 guards from the prison, and I have this piece of paper here that says between January of 1983 and February of 1984, you were in jail at the Peace Farm in Jacksonville, nowhere near Miami. Okay, can I read those papers? He said, yeah, sure. He read it for like 20 minutes, was total silence in the court. Then he came back and said, yeah, well, I told the FBI I was lying about that anyway. I made that up by Maurice so I can get a good deal. And boy, the court went crazy. Even Judge Rucker, who everybody thought was a racist, said, this case, thanks to high heaven, Maurice needs to get up and walk out of here right now. You know, it was just like a big explosion all over the courtroom.
Well, wait, Maurice, there were no convictions in this case?
Oh yeah, there was Yahweh ben Yahweh was convicted, but he was convicted of conspiracy. But then the judge asked a question. That's what you need to go back in the record. He said, if nobody committed any of the acts, because you know when you do conspiracy, you're supposed to be conspiring to do an act. But all of us were found innocent of all the acts. But some of them were found guilty of conspiracy. So Judge Rucker said, well, what is the conspiracy if there was no act? But he was bound by law to give him some kind of sentence. That's why he gave him such short sentences. You understand?
And he's out now?
And Judge Rucker, Yahweh ben Yahweh, they say he died.
Okay.
97. But the thing is that he was convicted of crimes with no act of conspiracy, which was absolutely insane. I was found. Did they ask the jury, how did they see me? They said, we find him innocent. And to their shock and dismay, the judge said, don't you mean not guilty? They said, no, we find him innocent. Because my witnesses, the witness against me, had to admit that he made that up.
Now, wait, let me ask you a question.
So,
now, I contacted you a couple of weeks ago, right? And you were supposed to come on Wednesday. I was going to tape with you on Wednesday, right? But I couldn't make it. The last minute I told you I couldn't make it. You're not going to believe this, okay? I had another show yesterday that I taped yesterday. It might have been yesterday, the day before. I think it was yesterday. And I taped about Africa Bambaataa from the Black Spades, right? That whole story?
Yeah.
And involved in that case is a guy named Khalil Amani. Now, he was somehow involved in this?
I don't know. I never heard of him.
You never heard that name, Khalil Amani? Because he is...
What's his name Lloyd Clark? Was that Lloyd Clark?
I don't. You know what? I think he does use a different name too, like Lloyd Clark. But that guy, he's admitting he was an FBI informant.
Yeah. Okay. In
this case, okay, so is that the guy we're talking about?
I don't know. No. Robert Rozier also has died. The Robert Rozier was their star witness, the one that testified against me. He's a big. He was on the what's the name of the team? What do you call that team? The Steelers. He was on the Steelers football team. He was a big dude. He was like 6'4", 200 and some pounds. He was a big guy. Because it looked funny when my little 5'4" lawyer, Richard Gagliano, jumped across the table and grabbed him by the neck. Said, "You have my client all the damn time," and it was a lie. Boy, that little shorty was upset. But no, Kalani, there was other people that testified in the case. He could have been one of them. Okay. But he never testified against me. Okay. Did you say he testified against me?
No, I didn't talk to him. I talked to another guy in this. And when he mentioned, he said, this guy, Khalil Amani, Khalil Amani. And he says, oh, yeah, and he was involved in that Yahweh ben Yahweh thing. And I says, you got to be kidding me. I'm interviewing Michael. I'm interviewing Maurice tomorrow, you know? So it was just like a wild coincidence. But now you're saying that they allege that Yahweh ben Yahweh died, but you think possibly he's not dead?
You can't ever know here in America, but I go ahead on and accept the fact that they say he died, but they didn't let us see his body at the funeral. I'm like, what is that all about? But anyway, that's cool. I know I'm not going to let his legacy die, because he taught me that if me and the white man does not come back together in unity, God is going to kill everybody by fire and not water. If I did not believe that, I would not allow myself to be embarrassed the way they have embarrassed me and excoriated me throughout the press and everything. And I don't get nothing out of it, because I don't want nothing out of it, because black men are not allowed to make money in America. If I was making money from President Trump in any kind of way, that would be international news. He's a sellout. He's a coon. That's why I deliberately make it my business to take nothing at all. I've done that since 1999 when I was first helping the Republicans. I wouldn't take no money. I did everything for free on our own dime.
Well, what do you do for a living? How do you earn your money? What do you do?
Well, what we really do is I promote big shows. I got a nonprofit. And, I really, most of my brothers help to take care of me, because they know I'm busting my behind to make this happen. And that's basically what I'm doing. I'm fighting the court about these judges who are mostly Cherokee, and I've discovered that, and they're taking all white people and black people's houses all over America while they can't be foreclosed on. And they're breaking every rule and law. And I aim on making sure that everybody, that they are revealed, because the black man and the white man, 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, said that the unity of the brethren between the Jew and the Gentile must happen, but it will not happen until the sons of perdition are revealed and moved out of the way. So that's what I'm on my quest to do, is reveal these cannibals that are dogging out black people and white people and ruining us and taking everything, because they're taking all of America back just through foreclosure. There's I show them, 87% of all business in America owned by East Indian, Arabs, and Pakistanis. And you see some really, really white-looking people in the mall. Those are Slavs. Those are the Canaanites. They own everything. You go to Russia, all the white Gentile Russians are broke because they're taxed at 100%. But you go right behind the Kremlin with a nice mansions, all of the East Indians, Arabs, Pakistanis, they don't pay taxes. They're making money all the way in Russia, all the way in China, all over the world. They are free. That all happened because of Alexander the Great giving them the right. But that's another story. But they are free to do business unregulated and untaxed internationally. And you don't even know when East Indians come to America, and I can send this to you too, they get $3,800 per month just to be here. And then they come over here and then they become, guess what? Cherokee. How do they become Cherokee? Because they got the same DNA. They allow them to join the Cherokee Nation. So now they get a bunch of money every month and a bunch of money to run businesses. So I showed even Kellyanne one time, I said, look at the street here. This is, what is this street called? It's called Fifth Avenue. The Trump Towers is there, right? I said, ain't that amazing? Only 3 white men own a building on this whole street, the richest street in the world. Winston, Trump, and Tommy Hilfiger. Everything else is Versace, Giovanni, Armani, Pravada. All of those are East Indian.
Wait a second. Versace's are East Indian? Versace's Italian.
Watch this. You ready?
Yeah,
ready?
I'm ready.
You sitting down?
Yeah.
He says I met Versace. I used to sing at his house a long time ago.
Yeah.
The man is a Sicilian. Sicilians don't consider themselves Italian. They are from Sicily, and they are red dot in the head. What they call those people gypsies. They are East Indians. Those are not, they speak Italian, but they are not Italian, okay? Their name in and a vowel like India, Kama Sutra, all of that is Indian, okay? So the mafia, all of that is them. That's why they call themselves the Russian mafia. You can't be in the Italian mafia unless you're Sicilian. Come on, man, wake up. Wake up. What the hell is wrong with you? They are dogging you. They making you look stupid. You know what they did when you said that?
What?
They laughed. If they hear that first, that stupid white guy is blind. Yeah, you are blind because you can't even see that the people who are whooping the hell out of you are these East Indian Arabs and Pakistanis, along with these Canaanites. They're in perfect unity. One of them look white, the other one looks black. And they make us take the blame for what they do. And then they make me hate you for them shooting us, and then make you hate us for us shooting the police officer when it's them.
But Maurice,
they're the slickest I've ever seen. Go ahead, sir.
You would have to admit that your views here are extreme. There aren't many. Is there a great number of people who believe as you believe about this Cherokee stuff, or is it a very small?
Lot of people, because they took my YouTube
what's a lot
YouTube site down when I had it on when it said Godstu.com.
Right.
They took some of the videos down because one of them got 1,700,000,000 and something hit. I mean, I hit views. They took it down and said, "Oh, I had."
Maurice, come on! You had a YouTube video with 1 billion views.
That's what it said. I asked them, "What the hell does this mean?" And it said that, and then they took it down. You know when they did it? Remember this year? I was standing behind Trump in Arizona. Now, while I was standing there, of course, every camera in the world was watching us. And that was the biggest question. We was all over the front page of almost every newspaper in the world. And that's what they saw, Godstu.com.
Yeah, but not even 1 billion people played the Trump. Not even 1 billion people.
I'm just saying, don't worry about the number. If it's not true, it's not true. Maybe they were playing a game on me, but they took the site down. You know what I'm saying? Now I got a little over 1 million or something views on it now.
Right.
But why would you take that one down and say exact same video? Exact same video. I just put it back on.
YouTube got their own problems. Okay, I'm no fan of YouTube either, right?
Whatever their problem is, what I saw was that they said 1,700,000,000. Now, if it didn't happen, so be it. But it's not like it couldn't happen because that was the most watched interview. Speech in the world at the time.
Well, putting that aside, though, you would agree that this isn't a popular theory that you have here that a lot of people will believe what you believe here with the Cherokees.
Oh, I'm not trying to, because if you listen or if you read about the Washingtonians, which is a group of the Illuminati, the high boys and the Masons and all that, their job is to make everybody look like a nut or a fool for believing that this exists. So I know that their game, like they try to even make Jesus look crazy. They say, "Look at this man. This man here is a fool. He's crazy." And then in Matthew chapter 9, verse 10. I expect everybody to not believe it, but see, I'm not worried about what you believe. I believe it. And the Bible told me to tell you whether you hear or forbear. Tell you anyway. So I just tell you, and if you don't accept that, that's cool. But in the meantime, at least you understand why I believe in what Trump is doing and why I believe in the Republicans and the conservatives and the people that believe in God, and why I believe in white Gentiles, because I have a bunch of my brothers who are Muslims or whatever not. They said, "Man, how could you be for these crackers, man? These crackers, we got to kill them all." I said, "Well, if you believe like that, now Yahweh is saying he's going to kill everybody." And see, I don't have time. And the man said he's going to burn the earth with fervent heat. That's a little too warm for me. So either he's right or the Bible is right. I'm going with the Bible. And if the Bible is right, you are my brother, and I'm sticking with you all the way. I already know you're going to reject me and laugh at me and all of that. I got you. No problem. But at least you know why I feel the way I feel. And mine is deeply rooted in the Bible and the Constitution. So I don't know what you believe in. I don't know. But I do know that you're my blood brother and that we got to stand together and fight, and that the Cherokee has to stop beating up white people and black people because they're taking everything from us, including our lives. And so it has got to stop, and I have every intention on stopping it. Go ahead.
Now, back to your faith, though, what you believe. Just give me like a little overview. Like, when do you hold the Sabbath, Saturday or Sunday?
The Sabbath right now is sundown Wednesday to sundown Thursday. Tomorrow, next year, it'll be sundown Thursday to sundown Friday.
Okay.
And John 9:10, they asked Jesus, when is the Sabbath? He said, "I tell you of the truth, every day gets to be a Sabbath day, saith the man Jesus." And that's when you deal with the solar calendar from the Hebrew Bible. So,
and you learned that from Yahweh ben Yahweh?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. That's who taught me all of that, yeah.
What about your dietary habits?
Oh, I eat right. No pork, no unclean meats according to Matthew. Leviticus chapter 11. No, I don't eat gluten. Don't smoke, don't drink, don't take drugs ever under any conditions. That's
Oh, that's interesting.
I eat right.
What about medicine? You go to see a doctor?
I will go find out what's wrong. Then I'll try to figure out what to do myself because I don't trust them too much. But
Yeah, I hear you.
Boy, hold on. You got to pull this car at least some, man. So the people I talked to, man, I almost hit my car. Just move it up a little bit, sir.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah, right.
Go ahead, sir.
Okay. Now, what about gifts of the Spirit, fruit of the Spirit? Do you believe in healing, prophecy, tongues? Do you believe in all that?
What happened? Say it again?
Yeah, the gifts of the Spirit and the fruit of the Spirit, like the baptism of the Holy Spirit. Do you believe in prophecy, interpretation of tongues, words of knowledge?
Tongues. I don't believe in tongues.
No tongues. Okay.
I believe in the Bible. I believe in the 613 laws of God. I believe in civilization. I believe in the Word of God and everything in the New Testament that agrees with the Old Testament. I total agreement with.
Okay. And what about like end times? Do you think we're like living in the end times?
Yes, it's the end of the time for the wicked. It's the beginning of the time for the black man and the white man, the Gentiles, not the other. Even Canaanites don't make it too. They just gonna have to stop punishing us. The punishment time is over. And that's what I love about President Trump, because he doesn't care how you feel. He that's what he was upset about in 1993. He said, why do these Cherokees get all this here? That's why the Cherokees are scared to death. It's them that are fighting against him. Even in the Senate right now, it's like 8 or 9 Mormons, and of course, the Mormons believe that Jesus is a Cherokee, in the Book of Mormon they call it. And they believe that the chosen people of God are Cherokee Indians, and they believe that America is New Jerusalem. Those people like Jeff Flake, Susan Collins, Mitch McConnell, it's not them. I can't. Mikowski, Miller, all those guys. You look up their religion. Strangely, and the only ones who vote against Trump, all of them are Mormons, or at least Cherokee, because John McCain is not a Mormon, but he is a Cherokee Indian.
Now, does he openly say he's a Cherokee Indian, or does he say he's Cherokee? Does McCain say that?
Yes, his daddy was a Cherokee. They're all Cherokee, sir.
Okay.
He says it.
What about this?
You can Google it. You don't have to believe me.
Okay.
Well, not Google, because Google might try to hide it now, because I've been saying it so much. But go to Bing or Ask, all them other sites, and they'll tell you. I got it on my site. They can't erase it because I took it off their web and put it on my site. So, they can't erase what is actual. McCain is a Cherokee. And all of those people, all you got to do is look up the religion of all of the senators. And when you get to the word Mormon, look at all of the Mormons. Amazing. They're the only ones that vote against Trump. Amazing.
No.
I mean, damn amazing.
What about the state of Israel? Do you support the state of Israel?
Of course I do. I love what President Trump just did by giving Netanyahu, making Jerusalem the capital of Israel. I know that Obama don't like that because he himself isn't. You do know Obama's Cherokee. His mother was Cherokee, a white Cherokee, and his daddy is an East Indian from Kenya. He's like Somalian and all that. So he is both sides, the dark one and the white one. But he gave $300 million to try to uproot Netanyahu, and so they call Netanyahu a racist because he said, you're going to let these East Indians and Arab Jews run Israel over an Ashkenaz. Ashkenaz Jews, the word Ashkenaz, if you look it up, or Ashkenazi, Ashkenaz in Genesis chapter 10, 1-5 was the firstborn son of Gomer, who was the firstborn son of Japheth. And Japheth in that same chapter is called the father of all the Gentiles, the white European Gentiles. So Ashkenaz actually means German. So the European Jews is who Trump just took and gave the Jerusalem back to my Gentile Jewish brother who is supposed to be in Israel, because they are me. They are me to the tooth. That's my little brother Japhet. And he's the baddest behind football on earth. And I'm with him all the way. Let's go. Gentiles away. That's why when you read Revelation 11, 1 through 4, it says, and the temple was built in Jerusalem in the latter days, and at the top of the temple, of course, you know, the masons say that in the top of the temple sat Solomon, Hiram of Tyre, the king of the Gentiles, and Hiram of This, a mixture of Gentiles and Hebrews. Those three sat in the top of the temple, and the 12 floors with the rest of the other tribes, and said, and bottom side of it, and the wall and all that was given to the Gentiles. Why? Because they have the weapons and the numbers and the power to protect us. So the Gentiles, and you read in Revelation 21, says New Jerusalem is heaven. And the Bible said in John 13:10, you cannot go to heaven unless you come from heaven. So the fact that it said the Gentiles were there with me means they come from heaven, because they are Noah's son. Thank you. Go ahead, sir. Well, that's some radical beliefs, huh?
You do, yeah. We're toward the end of the time. Well, you only wanted to give me an hour. It's already 75 minutes. What do you want to leave us with?
Well, what I want to leave you with is that the black man and the white man, the Jew and the Gentile, must come together in unity according to 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, so that God will save the earth and that we can dwell together in heaven forever. And to my Canaanite brothers and Ishmaelite brothers and Hamite brothers and Edomite Esau brothers, you can be saved too. Just remember that Yahweh said he's not after flesh and blood. He's after those who sit in high places. You know who I'm talking about? Caste. You know who I'm talking about? You senators and congressmen. If you act right, you can rule. Ask Cain. God said that to Cain. If you act right, you can rule in Genesis chapter 3. But for those of you who won't repent, you shall be removed out of the way. Or, well, I meant voted out of the way. And we're going to put good people, that black and white in. Those are my blood brothers. That's what I'm going to stick with. And we must stand together in unity to fight against the tyranny of the Canaanites. I'm sorry, the Cherokee. Okay, I meant the Hamites, Canaanites, Ishmaelites. You know what I'm talking about.
Well, how are you going to put in good black people when Trump hasn't put any black people in, except for Ben Carson?
Well, then see, you lied. See, I thought you had Amarosa in.
Well, she's out now.
A few black people out.
You know?
Yeah, but I know a few black people. You can't hardly get nobody in there because these congressmen and senators are blocking all of his appointees, all of his policies, everything. So even if he did or did not have it in there, that doesn't bother me. You know what bothers me? Policy. That's what bothers me. I want my money. I don't need to hear about he got a whole bunch of white people over here. Guess what? White people are actually black because they got melanin in their skin. If you stand in the sun long enough, you'll get as dark as me. We are the exact same people. There is no difference. The only people that put the difference between us is them Canaanites, because they can't get in the sun. If they get in the sun, they'll boil and they'll crack up and they'll die. That's why Hillary almost died out in the sun because she forgot to put her sunscreen on. You understand? So they're totally different from the Gentiles. I know that the Gentiles are my duplicate. They are absolutely, actually me. Not. You can be a spiritual Jew. You're Jewish. Wish to be a Jew. Damn all that. You're not Jewish. There's no such thing as J. In no language on earth, even over 600 years ago, does not exist. You are a Hebrew. You are a Hebrew Japhite. I'm a Hebrew Israelite. You understand? That is our nationality, but the operative word is Hebrew. What does Hebrew mean? Child of God, children of the Most High. Psalms 82:6. Yes, sir.
I think I've run out of questions for you, Maurice. Listen, but I want to thank you.
I know you did.
I want to thank you. I appreciate you coming on the show. And if you got something else, and something comes up, you want to come back on the show, just let me know. I'll put you right on, okay?
All right, gods2.com. Go to that website, everybody.
Gods2.com. Wait, and how else? You don't use your Facebook much, right? I tried to contact you on there a few times. How else can people find you?
I go on there. I just put some things on there, like, they threatened President Trump's son the other day. And I said, well, if something happens to him, we're going after your children, Ishmael. We're not going to try to figure out which one did it. We're going to do 1 Samuel chapter 15, verse 3. When the Amalekites attacked the children of Israel from the back and only killed one old man and one child, God ordered us to go into Amalek and kill every man, woman, and child, sheep, goat, camel, and ass. Everything that pisses against the wall, kill it and burn the city. And don't take a spoil, so that all nations will see and fear and do no such evil to my people. Because we ain't going to be looking for them. We're going after all of them. And then guess what they'll do? They'll stop killing us. You understand? Because if you keep the law, it'll make your way prosperous and give you good success. The only reason they're doing that to us is because we're afraid to do what God said do. If you do that, you only have to do that one time. Every other nation will say, boy, don't mess with them, boy, them Americans, boy, they'll kill everybody. Right. Now leave me alone. Okay?
Maurice, okay, man.
I'm rough, but I know on your radio station that I have to be like that because I have to tell the truth, whether you hear or forbear. That's how we'll get rid of all of our problems. And I did. You were about to ask a question, but I need to answer it about the wall, because we were about to talk about the wall.
The wall in Mexico.
Some people asking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to answer that because I said that first. And I said that Isaiah 60:18, God said, build me a wall great and high to be a border unto my land, Israel. And all nations, including Mexico. He didn't say Mexico, but he said all nations will come and say, please let us help you. Please let us help you build this wall that is great and high, saith the Lord. So God, Matthew 5:48 says, be like God. So if God wants a wall, what are we supposed to have? China has one. Russia has one. If you run into America from Mexico, you can get away with it. But if you run back over to Mexico and they say halt and you don't stop, they will shoot you through. You know why? Because Exodus 20:19, God said, put a border around this mountain to where I am at. And anybody who crosses that border, shoot them through. That's Exodus 20:19.
Well, then, would you put a wall for Canada, too, to keep the Canadians out?
Yeah.
You would? Okay.
You're supposed to have a border to your land, saith the Lord. You understand? You heard what God said, build me a wall great and high. You're supposed to have a border, saith the Lord. You understand? So there's a way that seemeth right to a man, but the end thereof is death. Because the Ishmaelites who are Azteca or Mesa or MS-13 can come, they can go to Canada as quick as they can go to Mexico and come in. They're not hard up for money. They got money. You understand? So we are supposed to protect our borders because God said protect the borders. And if you go to Deuteronomy chapter 2, it's an actual law. He said, when you go into your brother's land, do not cross his land without his permission, and do not cross his wall or breach his wall without his permission, because it is his land. Do not meddle with him without his permission. You understand? That is in Deuteronomy chapter 4. I paraphrase that because I can't remember the exact quote, but that's exactly what it says in paraphrase quote what he's saying that is. But anyway, that's what I believe. We need to have a wall, and we're supposed to make it a precious thing to even come over here into New Jerusalem, which is heaven. This is heaven right here. Because when the Gentiles and the black man come together, we create heaven. Everybody want to come see us play football. I don't see none of them on the field. I just see me and you out there. I don't see him on the court. I don't see him nowhere. Oh boy. But anyway,
Maurice,
we are in heaven. Everybody wants to come here. Go ahead, Sam. Nice talking to you.
It was nice talking to you. I really appreciate it. I hope you feel that you were able to get out everything you wanted to say.
No, I didn't get everything I wanted to say, but that's good enough. One day we'll talk again, probably.
Okay, my friend. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Gods2.com.
Gods2.com.
Okay, good night. There you got Maurice Symonette, Blacks for Trump. a very intense guy. I gotta say, I don't know. Maybe on another day I could have spent another half hour with Maurice, but I don't know. I'm a little wiped out today. And it is kind of a weird coincidence that this other guy, Khalil, I'm going to be talking to him again. Khalil Amani, who in another forum admitted that he was some kind of FBI agent undercover working to set up this Yahweh ben Yahweh thing. Okay. Thank you so much, Maurice Symonette.